Okay, we're going to finish up lesson 1-9, and we're going to pick up on page 58. So I'm going to put here 1-9, and I'm going to put a different heading that you don't have to put on your notes unless like you broke off your notes abruptly. We're going to talk here about functions. Yesterday we talked more about graphs. So with functions, we're going to deal first with the term relation. So we're talking about mathematical relations. Does anyone remember what that is? And to help you out, think of points on a coordinate pair, on a coordinate plane. What's a relation? And you can guess. If you're totally off, we can work off of it. Maybe you just get spot on. Please. Distance between two dots. Actually, that is a concept we're going to get to, like distance between 2 points, but not necessarily a relation in that sense. But a relation can deal with that set of points. Okay, you know how you have your x and y coordinates? You know, have x and y, and those tell you where you put your dot on the graph. Okay, a relation is simply a relationship between the x and the y coordinates. So let's put relationship, and that's why they call it relation. Relationship between x and y coordinates. And whenever you have two or more ordered pairs, you're going to have a relation. Like you have a relation automatically. And so another way of thinking of it, a relation is a set of ordered pairs. So it's a set of ordered pairs. That's the main idea. This is why, because it's a relationship, and therefore it's a set of ordered pairs. Okay. And then the main concept I really wanted you to get, excuse me. Excuse me, sorry, Swivl. Domain. This is a key word, and we're going to use the example of the example 3 example to help us see why domain and range, the next term, is going to be important. So domain. That's referring to the set of x coordinates. The set of x coordinates, okay? So that's your domain. So when you're talking about the x-axis, the horizontal axis, that would be referring to your domain, okay? So what would the range refer to?
The set of y coordinates?
Yep, the set of y, the set of y coordinates. All right, so those are the main things I really want you to get today, domain and range. This year we're going to deal with domain a lot, and then range more toward the end for a little bit, and then definitely when you get into Algebra 2, domain and range are super key concepts. So it's good to get them introduced now. Okay, so what are we talking about? Let me just give you a couple examples here. I'm going to give you a set of ordered pairs. So write this on your paper here, and I'm just making these up as we go right now. Okay. I call this a set of ordered pairs. What's another name to call this set? You can call it look at your terms. Relation. Yeah, and the word function is coming. But this is a relation. Why? It's a relationship between x and y numbers, or it's a set of ordered pairs. So here we have 3 ordered pairs. Okay, this is a relation. All right, what is the domain of this relation? Well, what are the x-coordinates? So what are the x-coordinates? And usually you list them off least to greatest just to make it easier for everyone. So what are the set of x-coordinates? Anybody, just go ahead and give it to me, James. 0, 1, 5, right? So that's the domain, 0, 1, 5. And what would be our range in this problem?
3, 2, 2. Or 3, 2.
Yeah, and so we'll put it 2 and 3. When you have a repeating element in a domain or range, you don't repeat it. So you don't say 2, 3, 3. You just put 2 and 3, and even though you have it there twice. So that's kind of different from your stem and leaf, if you remember how to do that one. Okay. Does everyone know how to identify a relation? It's just a set of ordered pairs. Does anyone have questions on how to identify the domain or range and or how to write them? What symbols are here in the domain and range? So the numbers are there, the commas are there, but there's another symbol that I need you to write down when you write those domain and ranges. Yeah, and these are my braces here, and these are the not so good ones. So you have braces that combine them. Yes, sir?
Do you have to have the commas?
Yes, in this case you have to have commas because if I didn't have this comma, my range would be 23. So you have to separate each number. And right, isn't that different from your stem and leaf? So stem and leaf is like another category that's statistics, and we're talking here about coordinate geometry really is what we're talking about. You guys good on this?
Yeah.
All right, now, one of you brought up this concept. I don't remember who it was. Functions.
What?
Is this relation a function?
No. Yes.
Yes.
So I hear no and yes, and it's not both.
Wait, not yes.
So we have to ask ourselves, how do we know? So how can you tell if it's a function or not? It's a relation, but I don't know if it's a function. Josh? What makes a function a function?
If the x coordinates don't like overlap or something.
Okay, you're starting to think about the idea, Hayes?
You do the shrink line test where the x coordinates are the same, and because you can have two things on the same.
Yeah, remember the vertical line test? You use like a pencil or your finger or whatever, and if this was graphed, you could not have 2 points on that line that you're running through. Okay, so here's what I'm going to put. All right, a function. This is the last definition, and we're done with this lesson. So a function. Every x value, which we would say every element in the domain, or every x value, has exactly 1. And I love the way mathematicians put it. They say has 1 and only 1. So they're saying just 1. But I'll put here exactly 1 y value. Every x value has exactly 1 y value. Okay. So I'm going to give you instances where that's true and where that's false. Okay. Look at our relation up here. So I haven't determined whether it's a function yet. We kind of guess, and some of you got it right, some of you didn't. All right, does every x value have only 1 y value? And this is a kind of a tricky question, but I'm trying to state it the way it's properly worded. Does every x value have only 1 y value? All right, how many of you say yes? How many of you say no? How many of you didn't vote? How many of you are afraid to vote? How many of you will vote on the next question maybe? How many of you are not sure about that? Okay. Some of you didn't vote. That's okay. I think we covered some of you, most of you. All right. The domain 0. How many y values go with 0? 1, right? How many y values? Just 1. All right. The domain value 1. How many y values go with it? 1. And the domain value 5 has how many range elements?
1.
It is a function. Automatically, it's a function. And now I'm going to show you where it's not a function, and someone's going to have to tell me why. All right, write out another, that's terrible. Write down another relation here. Yeah, I like these squigglies. Okay.
Commas in between?
Yes.
Yeah.
Remember with ordered pairs, you have to put X, comma, Y.
I mean like in between.
In here,
the
yes. Separate order pair, because if not, it's a big multiplication problem. Or it's indistinguishable of what's going on. So yeah, there are proper ways to do it. Thank you for asking, because yeah, should I do it or not? Yes. Okay, so is this a relation?
No. I mean,
No.
Yes.
Okay, listen to the question. I'll say it one more time. Is this a relation?
100. Yes.
It's a set of ordered pairs. Boom, it's a relation. Okay, so relation, yes. And I'll actually write that so you can have it in your notes so you can refer to it and you won't be confused next time. All right, so relation, yes, or y. Yes, it is a relation. Now what we're asking is it a function? And what are your thoughts?
No.
What? Is it because it's so long? Oh, I hear yes and no. Okay.
0%.
All right, I'll take this question. Let's hear it out.
Okay, it's not, but 1 and 4 and 1 and 4. If there wasn't 2 with 0,
So like say this was gone,
no.
or don't worry about that. Okay, how about this? I think I know what you're talking about. This guy? These two?
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
And
What we
then
have to...
does make it not a function. But if one of the ones with 0 was gone, would it be? Because
With those two
1
still?
and 4, 1 and 4.
Great question. I'm going to answer both those questions because I try to do this on purpose, so watch what we're going to do. All right, let's look at every domain value and see if it has exactly one y value. All right, so let's start. 0. Does it have only one y value or exactly one y value? And the answer is no. It has 2 of them, not a function. No. Okay, so it's not a function because this x value has 2 y values or 2 outputs, not a function. By the way, guys, if you were graphing this, 0, 3 would be right here, and 0, 2 would be right here. And you do the vertical line test, and what happens? It fails. So it's, there you go. So it would no longer be a function. You guys see that? With the numbers and with the vertical line test. All right, but let's say, for illustration's sake, that was gone. Would it be a function, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, I heard the buzzer sounding, and I was like, what?
Exactly.
And then some of you said yes, but it can't be both.
Oh, yes. It is yes. My bad.
Okay, so so most of you are saying yes. Watch what happens. Ready? All right, you're looking at probably these two and saying, all right, does the domain value of 1 have exactly one y value? And the answer is yes. It has 4. So if I were graphing this on a number line, 1, 4, somewhere around here, 1, 4 would be right on top of it, which is, it basically means it's the same point. Does it pass the vertical line test? Yes. It's the same exact point. So it doesn't overlap or it doesn't have like spacing. It's the same point, and that's okay. So does that make sense? Does that answer your question, Ellie? So just because you have the same one repeated doesn't automatically change it into a non-function. All right. Whew. That was fun. I love functions. I love relations. I love domain and range. Okay. Ready, guys?
No.
Close up your notebooks. Swivl. It is time.
No.
Not yet. Tuesday's the test. This is just a pop quiz, only worth 40% of your grade as of now. Oh, is that going to scare somebody? Okay. Close your books. Your last quiz is a mere 30% of your grade. Mere. This one's only 40, so not much. And I graded your test. You got them back, right? You didn't, Margot. I'll give it back to you when you see me. All right. Oh, I need this here. We're done with this. Okay, I'm going to call on you randomly. Yes, well, randomly. You have been randomly selected beforehand with thought. Okay, I'm going to give just different questions, verbal questions. You just answer as best you can. If you don't get the correct answer, I'm going to call somebody else. I'm not going to repeat the question. So, for example, Josh, what is a relation? What's a relation? So I can repeat the question for you. So what's a relation? And if you don't get it, it's okay.
No,
It's
yeah.
40%. It's not that bad.
The set of the what are the parentheses?
Okay, so what I do now is I'm like, okay, we'll move away from Josh, and then I will point to one of you, and you must answer the question. I will not repeat it.
Is it a relation is the set of ordered pairs?
There you go. So that's what you're thinking. It's a set of ordered pairs. That's correct.
It's a relationship between the set of words.
Oh, you can say that you can say it's a relationship between the x and the y values.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So you can say that as well. But we're going to memorize it now, and I'll say it again. A relation is a set of ordered pairs. Okay, so we're all clear on that. All right, next. Vivian. What is the domain? What is the domain? Okay, it's a set of the x coordinates. Lisby, what's the range?
The set of the y coordinates.
It's a set of the y coordinates. James, what's a relation?
A set of ordered pairs.
Very nice. Set of ordered pairs. Wyatt, what's a function?
Every x value has one y value?
No, that's good. Every x value has exactly one y value. And this one's a bonus one. For one of you lucky ladies by the name of Katie. Ladies and Katie. All right, Katie, what test can we run to determine a function or not? It's a test called. And it's a bonus because I didn't write it down necessarily. Okay, and do you remember what that's called? So that is what I do, but sometimes my finger does this, like, oh no, what do I do? So you need something to run that test. It's a specific term. That's okay if you don't have it. Okay, so now I point to somebody else. A lucky gentleman. Owen. Okay, you're so close. It is a line test of a specific kind, lucky lady. Margot.
Is it the vertical line?
Is that a question or the answer? The answer is a vertical line test. It's a vertical line test. Because if you do a horizontal line test, that is inaccurate. Vertical line test is what we want. Okay. Just when you thought we were done, take out a piece of paper. I'm just kidding. We're done. Okay, this is what I want you to do, guys. I want you to actually, yes, take out a piece of paper, but it's not a quiz. It's going to be your assignment. You're going to have this rest of this period and the next period to finish it up. I am going to stop the recording.